After many months of waiting, Lucid Motors has finally revealed the production version of its Lucid Air Sedan through an online reveal event. And while we have been hearing all kinds of things about the car in the last couple of months, thanks to the drip-fed press releases like the car's expected range, charge capabilities, top speed and acceleration, today is the very first time we've seen the car in the metal in its production form. Okay, let me correct that. This is the first time Lucid has publicly displayed its vehicle in production form. Lucid invited many automotive journalists to its Silicon Valley headquarters last month to get a sneak peek, me included. And yes, there is a video about that visit coming very soon. Today, though, let's focus on the official details given by Lucid during its long Apple keynote-esque web presentation, as well as some of the things that we didn't know about the car before today. Then we'll look at where this places Lucid in the marketplace, for now at least, and I'll finish by giving you my personal impression of this car. First up, let's talk about what Lucid is and what it isn't. While many in the mainstream media have been quick to apply the term, quote, Tesla killer to the Lucid Air, a term that I think frankly has lost all meaning because it's overused, the Lucid Air is not meant to be a direct competitor to any car currently being made by Tesla. That doesn't mean it doesn't have Tesla-like specs though, because it does. So there will be some comparison going on. In fact, its specifications are close to or exceed that of any Tesla on the road. And even though I've just said it doesn't cross-shop for reasons I'll come to later, let's look at the range-topping Model S versus the range-topping Lucid Air. And in case you were wondering, the range-topping model for Lucid is called the Lucid Air Dream Edition. Tesla may actually have the edge right now with acceleration. The Lucid Air Dream Edition has a 2.5 second 0 to 60 sprint time versus the 2.3 second sprint time for the Tesla Model S dual motor performance. But the Lucid Air Dream Edition can manage a slightly quicker quarter-mile time at 9.9 seconds, has a slightly higher top speed of 168 miles per hour, and of course, it has a longer range, thanks to its larger battery pack and more efficient drivetrain, at least according to Lucid. Not to mention a very neat aerodynamic design that even utilizes new energy-efficient microlens and solid-state lighting technology and carefully placed vents in the bodywork to direct airflow from the front of the car through the body panels and then out the side. Even the battery pack has a slight curve in it to help reduce aerodynamic drag under the vehicle. Peter Rawlinson, CEO and CTO of Lucid Motors, has a long and distinguished career in the automotive industry, with former engineering positions at Jaguar Land Rover, Lotus Cars and Tesla. And that background shows when he talks about the work that's gone into making the Lucid Air the car it is today. In the official press release detailing this vehicle, there's a lot of focus on the car's drivetrain and battery pack, highlighting the skateboard design of the Air, which Lucid hopes to use in future cars, as well as the super compact electric motors and inverters, and of course, that massive 113 kWh battery pack. In addition to claiming the longest range title, the largest front trunk, the frunk of any vehicle entering into production, and that quarter-mile time, Lucid is eager to point out that its battery technology has been made thanks to many years of Formula E racing. While Lucid has yet to make a single production electric car, we'll come to production schedules later, Lucid's battery arm has been supplying battery packs for Formula E for the last 2 seasons under the Attiva brand. It's 2 full seasons of racing plus an additional 8 years of battery and powertrain development before that, which Lucid said directly influenced its battery pack design and also enabled it to progress through a series of design iterations through the alpha and beta prototype phase of its vehicle development, are what give it its special sauce. As a side here, if you recognise the name Attiva, that's because it was the company's name before Peter Rawlinson joined as CEO and CTO. Attiva was responsible for the super crazy 900 horsepower Edna, converted Mercedes-Benz Metris van, which shot into the headlines in 2016 with a 3.08 second sprint time, which was quicker than the quickest Tesla Model S at the time. When Peter joined, the name changed, but Attiva remained the name applied to Lucid's battery technology. And in case you're interested, while Lucid plans on building its own battery packs and will use its own battery management system and a battery cell layout, which it has developed thanks to the aforementioned involvement in Formula E, I believe it will initially at least be buying in 18650 cells and then making the packs itself. That sounds very similar to the way in which Tesla built its Model S battery packs, but what's different with Lucid is the voltage chosen to operate those packs at. Unlike most electric vehicles on the road today, which use battery packs operating in the 400-volt range, Lucid's battery packs have a nominal voltage of 924 volts. When paired with an appropriate CCS DC quick charging station operating at 300 kilowatts, Lucid says that 20 miles of range per minute can be added to the car's battery pack. In addition, as Lucid announced earlier last month, the Lucid Air will ship with vehicle-to-grid and vehicle-to-everything technology as standard, allowing two-way power transfer through the car's onboard 19.2 kilowatt AC charging system. It says it's even possible to use one Lucid Air to charge the battery of another. And while Lucid doesn't have its own charging network, it has just announced a partnership with Electrify America. It will give customers 3 years of complimentary unlimited free charging on the Electrify America network, which of course has 300 kilowatt DC quick charging stations. I should also note at this point that while the headline Lucid Air battery pack is 113 kilowatt hours, giving that headline extended range of 517 miles per charge on the EPA test cycle, there will be other capacity battery packs offered for the Air, the exact specifications for which haven't yet been detailed. So let's talk about the awkward thing, price. Well, as many of you will know, those prices sneaked out before the official unveil, with the Lucid Air Dream Edition starting at an eye-watering $169,000 before incentives. And that price is a starting price for the high-end model, all 1,080 horses of it. Lower-priced variants do exist or will exist. The Air Grand Touring and Air Touring will start at $139,000 and $95,000 respectively, while an entry-level Lucid Air will be due at some point in 2022 with a claimed sub-$80,000 price tag, assuming everything goes according to plan. Because Lucid has developed a very energy-dense motor transmission unit, which includes a motor, inverter and differential in the same physical package, it plans on offering single, dual and triple motor configurations, as well as rear bench seat, as well as executive seating in the rear. This car is insanely expensive and well above the price of many other electric cars out there, but based on my experiences with the Lucid Air, I am not surprised. It's a premium vehicle. And there's also a lot of technology inside. There's level 3 capable semi-autonomous driver assistance systems with more than 30 sensors, which include sensors to make sure the driver is paying attention. The car will be upgradable over the air like Tesla's to full self-driving in the future. There's also a 12-volt electrical system based on Ethernet technology rather than the traditional automotive wiring system, which will be the way in which the car's various systems communicate. And then there's inside the cockpit, there's a single-piece, ultra-thin 34-inch curved driver dashboard and center-mounted touchscreen display, which actually pulls up automatically and allows access to a hidden cubbyhole behind it. Simply put, this is a premium car with a lot of premium features inside it. But that technology is interestingly not in your face. It's hidden, almost in plain sight. And the cabin is more focused on the experience for the driver and the passengers, the feeling of comfort and luxury, than the feeling of high-end tech. That comes from the interior and the choice of materials. There's a variety of premium trim choices using natural materials like wood and metal, and high-end premium leather. Although, yes, I'm told there is a vegan interior option coming too. Interestingly though, unlike many high-end cars, where getting behind the wheel reminds you at every turn that this is a very high-ticket vehicle, the Lucid Airs I sat in last week felt understated, yet premium. The technology is there, but it's not the focus of the car. There's a high-end feel to the materials used, and certainly the prototypes I saw felt that they were built extremely well. So, who is this car for? Well, if we pretend that Tesla is like the BMW of electric vehicles, making high-volume, stylish, desirable cars, then Lucid is maybe like the Mercedes-Benz, or maybe even something more expensive. I can see people buying this car because they want a less tech-focused car, but they also happen to have the kind of money to spend on something that is understated and less in your face than a Tesla. Are there similarities between Lucid and Tesla? Absolutely. Lucid is looking to establish 20 studio and service centers throughout the US in the next year. Like Tesla, Lucid wants its customers to experience something other than the traditional automaker dealership experience. There's a virtual reality element to the showrooms, but there's also a tactile opportunity for customers to check out the various interior options for their new car. I don't think this is a car that will sell hundreds of thousands, but it will be a car that attracts many high-end buyers who, like Tesla's customers of the past, would help Lucid move towards more affordable models. And Lucid makes no apology about that. But as a side, you should certainly listen to the video coming later this week in which Peter Rawlinson talks about the possibilities of drip down for the technology developed for the Air in future more affordable cars, as well as how Lucid's focus on engineering efficiency could help it dramatically change EV range for the better. Now I've covered all of that, let's detail some of the things I learned when I visited Lucid's headquarters in the San Francisco Bay Area. Lucid is currently building its production facility in Casa Grande, Arizona, and according to the team I spoke to at Lucid last month, it should be on track to produce cars early next year. The Lucid Air Dream Edition, the first off the line, will due to begin deliveries in Q2. Right now, there's interestingly a miniature copy of the planned production line being built in Casa Grande at Lucid's headquarters in California, even down to the robots that will be used in Arizona. Right now, the company is building production intent vehicles on that miniature production line, as well as training its team leads and production staff who will ultimately be building those cars in Arizona. At the same time, that small production line enables Lucid to test out new automation and production techniques before rolling it out to the Arizona facility without disrupting the production line. It's also being used to help train mobile technicians who, like Tesla's Mobile Rangers, will be responsible for the majority of vehicle maintenance of customers' cars. The only other thing worth noting about today's event? Project Gravity, the one more thing that Lucid has been working on. It's an SUV variant of the Air in much the same way that the X followed Model S. I'm guessing we'll hear more about that in the very near future. We just really got a sneak peek. Lots of people here will no doubt comment that Lucid hasn't made any cars yet and thus isn't worth anything. And Peter commented as much in his presentation, acknowledging that until cars roll off the production line, Lucid's not worth much. But unlike many automakers who've struggled with funding at this point in their corporate history, Lucid is actually well funded and thus doesn't have some of the hurdles ahead of it that many before have experienced. Does this mean that Lucid will become a production automaker and produce the Air? Well, we can hope. But until I've had a chance to drive one myself, I'm going to reserve final judgment. If you liked this video, please keep your eyes peeled for more later this week, filmed when I was given an exclusive preview of the car at the end of last month. I think you're going to enjoy that video. That's it for today's video. As always, thanks to the folks on our right for being our $15 to $49 a month patrons. Special thanks to our $50 a month patrons John Lyons, Regine Fellows and Jeffrey Songster, and our deepest gratitude to our $100 a month Patreon supporters Marcel Ward, Reggie Watts, JP Fagerback and Sean Udea. And no, I don't know if it is the Reggie Watts. I haven't asked. You can join all of these Patreon supporters by following the links below, or you can send us a donation through Ko-fi or Bitcoin. You'll also find a link to our free Discord server below, so join up and join in the fun. After the names have scrolled, you'll see a suggestion for a new video to watch from this channel, so please consider watching it if you haven't, and I will be back very, very soon. Thanks for joining me, and as always, keep evolving!